Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
It's time for the Bonnie Sher Show, a whirlwind of wit, wisdom, celebrity, and the boomer life. With a little bit of this and a lot of that and so much more you don't want to miss, here's Bonnie.
Well, hi. Welcome to the Bonnie Sher Show, and I want to thank you, friends, old and new, for tuning in to us today. Thanks right away to Wayne Cobham for my super duper theme song. I am Bonnie Sher, and I am your host and guide through the world of celebrity, the boomer life, and the type 1 diabetes community. So today, I have a wonderful show for you. Today, I have my favorite celebrity jewelry designer. You've seen me wear his jewelry on my show each and every week, and his name is Cory Boan, and he's the owner of Crown and Anchor Jewelry. And I have Sierra Thornburg with me today as my Type 1 co-host. And she is a member, of course, of the T1D community. If you have a question, if you have a comment, please call us at 323-843-2826, or you can follow the hashtag BSHER Radio, BSHER Radio on Twitter. So now, let's settle in, and please say hello to my first guest, my friend, and incredibly talented, Cory Boan.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, Cory!
Hello.
You know, my viewers have been saying week after week that I have been wearing your jewelry. Actually, I borrow your jewelry. It has sort of become my jewelry, but anyway. And so many people have written me and texted me and tweeted me about how can they get your jewelry? Do you have... how can they see it? What can we do? So being the woman that I am here to satisfy all of you jewelry lovers, because I am certainly on the board of directors. So we're going to show you some photographs of some of Cory's work, and while you're looking at them, Cory will describe them for you. And we can find out a little bit about what his process is and how he comes up with different pieces. So, Cory, tell us, please, what are we looking at right now?
Which one is that? That is, those are just solid gold, little tiny like disco ball beads. They're all faceted, so they're extra sparkly, and they're just hand wired wrapped on a solid 14 karat gold. So it's more like a layering piece. It's just a small gold chain.
Great. It's absolutely beautiful. And tell me about the two we're looking at now.
What do we got here? This is, again, just everything's hand wired on a solid 14K. And there we have, again, a gold, little tiny gold bead chain with a citrine, faceted citrine drop on the bottom.
Beautiful.
And then the black one you see there is a black spinel with solid gold beads as well.
You know, I learned something interesting from you the other day. I never knew that a ruby was part of the sapphire family.
Yeah.
What did they change their names? They wanted to assimilate and they only wanted 4 letters. Why is a ruby called a ruby and not called a red sapphire?
I don't know exactly why. Sapphires come in all different colors. So
And
there's
how does that
pink and
color?
blue.
What changes the colors?
Just depending on what minerals it's growing near.
So it picks up the color from that. So, like, if you see a multicolored stone, is it because there were many different minerals around it and it sort of absorbed all of them?
Exactly, or even 2 different stones can actually strangely grow together, and you can cut them as one stone. Like the one you wore before, like ametrine. It's amethyst.
That's
and
what I was
citrine.
thinking
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, super
Okay,
pretty.
now we're looking at another piece. And I think that one's actually from the Bonnie Sher collection,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think actually you might be wearing that one right now.
Oh, indeed I am. See how quickly we forget. Yeah, and this is all black. Tell us about this.
That's actually the same as before. That was black spinel
this
and
is a
little
black
gold
spinel.
beads. Yeah, just a different picture of it.
I got crazy with pictures. So let's talk about you a second, Cory, and then we'll look at some more of the work. How long have you been doing this?
About 4 or 5 years now.
And have you always, I have certain things that I exceed at. Using my hands, not so much. I can use them to cook and to clap, but no little beading or anything. What made you want to get into that, and how did you see it? And how do you, what is your process like? Do you go searching for particular beads, certain things? Do you already know? Or do you like to get your materials and then see what does?
That's pretty much how I do it. I like to just kind of go down to the shops and just pick what I like pretty much, and then bring them home and see what gets put together. I'll get a lot of like vintage things or things that people just don't want anymore from like their estate collections, and take them apart and change them into like maybe make a ring into a pendant or something like that.
Well, that's another point Cory has done for me also, where he's taken pieces of jewelry that I already own, and he remakes them and grows them into something brand new. One example of that are the earrings, these statement earrings that I'm wearing today. I had the 14 karat gold loops and the hook from another pair of earrings, and then Cory took them and
I just made these big long red spinel chains, and then put her solid gold loops on the bottom of each one to make these crazy long earrings.
So I think it's very cool that people like yourself take existing objects that have already come from the earth instead of depleting the earth anymore. It's fun to have, things that you don't wear any longer. Just go ahead. I think we may have a shot of a diamond necklace. It has 2 diamonds. No, that's a different one. We're coming up to it. I hope I sent it to you.
I think that was a picture.
I think
of
we
it.
just there it is. Okay. What that was were a pair of diamond stud earrings that I had that I no longer wore. And Cory took those along with a chain with little diamonds in it that, again, I already had, but I never wore. So this all was sitting in the jewelry closet until Cory said, "Give me that." And then literally in 15 minutes, this was finished. It's a great way to redo jewelry you have and make it into something new and something fresh that you're going to keep wanting to wear. So I think it's eminently cool to be able to do that. What's your, now let's talk about your celebrities. I am not the only one who knows about Cory Boan. There are a couple other women who wear him also. Why don't you tell us a story about your celebrities and who's been wearing Cory Boan designs?
Well, first of all, there's obviously Bonnie Sher.
I'm so excited.
You probably wear it the most. But we also have a couple years back, this one here is Tori Amos. Wore just this last tour she did. She actually wore that same necklace through every tour and posted her picture on Instagram. And so that was kind of fun seeing that literally every other day. And then Miley Cyrus actually a couple years back bought one as well. She bought that one. We used to be in a boutique, Satine Boutique, here in Los Angeles. And so she walked in and just picked it out and bought it there. It's fun.
And, well, do you ever have ideas when you're making things of who might be the perfect person for a particular piece?
Actually, no, I'm just kind of selfish about that. I just kind of like make something that I want to look at. Just
that
pick
works.
pretty pieces. And if I
That
think it's pretty, if
works.
someone else thinks it's pretty, then great.
Now, if one of our viewer listeners wanted to work with you and they didn't live here in Los Angeles, I would imagine you could work with them by Skype, have them, if they wanted a new piece or if they wanted you to remake one. So you don't have to live here in Los Angeles to have the benefits of your very own personal celebrity jewelry designer. Just saying.
Of course.
Yeah. So you'll do all of that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I work with you could pretty much tell me what you want to, as long as it fits within what I do with these hand-wearing beads. You know what I mean? Choose a color. You could even choose a budget within reason. You know what I mean? Just depending on which stones and how expensive these sapphires are.
Everybody always
choosing.
wants to know. I'm sorry
no.
for stepping on you. People always want to know the price of things. So, I mean, understandably, you use larger stones, more expensive stones. The pieces can get more and more expensive. But can you give us just a sort of kind of range where your pieces would fit? Let's look at a couple more. There was the one, there's that. Let's talk about this piece.
That one is just a solid gold chain with 18 karat gold pendant with little flat diamond, I want to say like discs set in the gold. So just set to make a flower. So you actually see the front and the back of the diamond. It kind of, you hold it up to light, you can see the light shine through it. It's really kind of fun. It's just kind of like pieces of glass almost, but they sparkle a lot more.
So, approximately, what would a piece like that sell for?
I think that one is set at 500, 450, 500, somewhere right now.
Very reasonable.
Well, there's with me right now, my prices are different because actually when I am in boutiques, which I am, I've been in I think 5 or 6 here in the U.S., but they obviously have their markup as well. So when I sell directly to a customer, I try not to mark it up as much as a retail store would.
We'll see about that. I want to mention also that Cory has graciously, and I mean graciously, offered to give a percentage back to the show to anybody who buys anything as a result of seeing it here on the Bonnie Sher Show. And those proceeds, of course, will go to all things type 1 diabetes. So, thank you.
Of course.
I mean, that's just too gracious and too dear.
Well, thank you.
So, do you have any, I mean, I know that you're starting a new line now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start a new line, do you have something in mind that, that you want to have commonality through the line, or is it just a collection of what your pieces are, or do you
No, I understand. I definitely try to mix it up a little bit by having like a lot of the ones you're wearing right now are like layering pieces, like the ones that are just tiny little beads. I like to like make a selection of those in like 3 different lengths, so you could layer them if you want.
And you also work in all of the metals, right?
For the most part, I do just 14K wire with 18 karat beads. Unless I'm asked, I have done sterling silver and even like a gold filled if someone wants one of my pieces but doesn't really have the budget to spend a couple $100 on jewelry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's terrific. Do we have some more pieces that we can show and we can talk about? The pearls.
Oh, those are fun. Just super long. You could like wrap them, I think, up to 3 times around your neck with 2 large gold statement beads on either side.
And tell us about the pearls themselves.
They're just genuine freshwater pearls, just white little natural pearls.
And the gold pieces?
Those are two different ones. The one with the 4 layers is just one hook in the back, and it's just 4 layers, so you can't wrap it. You have to wear it like this.
Yeah,
and
it's
then the one here
beautiful.
on the bottle is one long one, so you could wear it just once down to your knees, or you could wrap it twice or 3 times.
I love that. Everything old is new again.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
the long flapper beads, and there's a look that's hung in for 100 years.
Oh yeah, the big long-
Almost, right? I mean, 1920s, 2020s. All right, let me see what else we have up there. That's just, now this is something that's very different. Can you tell us about this next piece coming up?
That one is an old vintage rosary, actually. And if you saw the whole thing, it's actually just these old, really pretty, like aged faux pearls. And I took the bottom with the crucifix off and just replaced it with a diamond pendant set in sterling silver.
That's amazing. I mean, the fact of how you put things together is really what blows me away.
kinda
I mean,
mixing and
that's what
matching.
the art is. You know?
It's kind of my therapy late at night, you know.
You need
go and
therapy?
play.
Who needs
We all need
therapy? I don't know anybody needs therapy.
You're in denial. Okay.
I'm in Hollywood. I'm in denial. Let's take a look at this piece now.
Which one is that? That I literally just used every blue stone you could think of. There's like London blue topaz, regular blue topaz, sapphires, aquamarine, and apatite, I believe. And just mixed them all in a pile. And
I
just
have
wired
an
them.
appetite for apatite.
So just kind of really pretty with a little diamond ball on the end.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are into buying jewelry for yourselves or your ladies, hey, I don't.
Don't judge.
Yeah, no judgment here. No judgment. It is beautiful work.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
now let's not be smacking the microphone. Let's talk about how folks can get in touch with you. Currently, what we've done is if you go to bonniesher.com, you will see, if you go all the way to the bottom of the page, you will see a link to Cory. You can get to him through that, and Cory is in the midst of developing a website, but certainly jewelry changes over so quickly, and it's not, I mean, every piece you make is unique unto itself. You don't have, a bunch of people manufacturing hundreds of thousands of people yet. But that's how you can reach Cory. Also, Cory, you are on Facebook.
I am.
You are on Twitter.
Yes,
You are on Instagram.
I am.
And you're always on my mind.
Aw.
Just saying. Wouldn't you want an adorable friend who could make jewelry hanging around? Not a bad friend to have. Cory, tell us also the email address that people can reach you at.
Like you said, my website's actually under construction right now. All the pieces were sold, and so we have to put
Okay,
them up
well,
again.
then that's the answer.
That's-
So in the meantime, you can get to Cory through me.
Or my email as well, which is just my name, CoryBoan @gmail.com.
And there you have it. Cory, you're a darling. You're a talented darling. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for making women, and again, I hate to be sexist, but I'm sorry. That's what I say.
women.
Feel so good.
Aw.
Really. So I love you, baby.
I love
Thank
you too, darling. Thank you so much.
Well, it was great to have you here with me. And before we go to break, Cory, I'm going to tell my audience that you are listening to the Bonnie Sher Show and you can join the conversation. Please call us 323-843-2826 or follow the hashtag, which is, as you know, # BSHER Radio on Twitter. coming up, a shout out from my soapbox, which is my take on who got it right and who got it terribly, terribly wrong and should be ashamed of themselves. So let's go to break with one of my favorite songs, sung by one of my favorite artists. And the artist is the marvelous Luther Vandross singing Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Take it away.
Okay, y'all. It's time to sing our song. Yeah. Do it with the feet. Yeah. Come on.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Ain't no stopping us now.
No, no.
We got the groove.
Come on. There have been so many things that have held us down. But now it looks like things are finally coming around. Yeah. I know we've got a long, long way to go. And where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna get ourselves together. We're gonna polish up our act, yeah. And if you've ever been held down before, I know that you refuse to be held down anymore. Yeah, yeah.
Don't you let
nothing stand in your way. And all your way. That's right. To every word I say about it.
ain't no stopping us now.
Ooh.
We're on the move.
Said, we've got the groove.
Ain't no stopping us now. We got the groove.
Hello?
I know you know someone who's got a negative vibe. If you're trying to make it, they only push you aside.
Shut up.
They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going. They don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna get ourselves together. We're gonna polish up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know that you refuse to be held down anymore.
Don't you let
Nothing stand in your way.
I want y'all to listen.
Come on. To every word I say about it.
Ain't no stopping us now.
That's right.
We're on the move.
Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Yeah.
We got the groove.
Ooh. Break down.
Don't wanna stop, please don't make me
I
stop.
don't wanna.
Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. T-O-P-P-I-N.
That's right.
Ain't no
Ain't gonna be no. Yeah, to the beat.
P-I-N.
Come on.
Ain't no.
Yeah.
S to the T to the O to the P to the P-I-N. Ain't no.
Ooh, you said it, y'all.
S to the T to the O to the P to the P-I-N.
Go ahead.
Ain't no.
Luther, oh my goodness. Well, welcome back to the Bonnie Sher Show. And joining me in this segment is Sierra Thornburg, who is a member of the T1D community right here in the great state of California. Welcome, Sierra. Hi. Hey, Guggles, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. First of all, I want to thank you so much for taking your time to come on the show today. Pardon me. and talk to me about your T1D. Um, you've been living with type 1 since you were 19 months old. Is that correct?
15 months.
15 months. I was kidding. 15 months, and I'm going to tell the audience that you are a preteen now at 12, about to make that big step over. So do me a favor, share your story with our audience, please.
Let's see. So starting. Don't really remember much, I'm sure not a lot of people can.
When did you first, let's do it this way. When did you first start to acknowledge that there was something going on with you that didn't go on with other kids?
I never actually noticed it, really, because it was just something like I've had my whole entire life. I never noticed.
Right. Have you been wearing a pump and, well, you haven't been on a sensor that long, clearly. But did they have you on injection therapy at the beginning, or did they put you on a pump?
Injection therapy.
And are you now on a pump?
Yes.
And also wearing a sensor, I trust. Yeah.
Nope.
No sensors.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever tried one?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you do your testing. So tell me what it's like for you. I mean, one thing that you and I have in common is that we're both T1s. I was 15 when I was diagnosed. So it was like early teenage years. But I know there was lots of stuff that went through my mind at that age, wanting to be like my friends. And when they all would go out and have their cheeseburgers and chocolate shakes, and, in the early days, they offered me, well, a green salad with 0-calorie dressing. Woo! That was like, yeah, that was kind of tough. Have you faced anything like that where you've kind of thought, gee, everybody else, or do you feel very included in your life?
I feel very included.
Well, that's marvelous. That's marvelous. So tell me about your normal day.
Very active.
Yeah, I see that you play a lot of sports, and you're also very active with that brain of yours, my dear. On a roll? My goodness, what don't you do? I hear Mom in the background saying that. I knew that. Do you think that the sports came from the fact that you love doing sports, or was it the thing about we all need exercise and you chose it that way, or maybe a combination?
No, I just like to be outside, really.
And you certainly live in the right area for it.
Yeah.
Those people living in the Midwest in the snow, they don't get to do this kind of stuff. Do you have other friends that are T1s?
Yes.
Tell me about those relationships. Do you
I
guys,
have a lot of T1 friends.
and when you get together, what do you talk about? Do you talk about girl stuff? Are you talking about diabetes, or is there a combination? I mean, what's the basis, do you think, of the friendships?
Sometimes it could be about boys,
Uh-oh. Yeah.
but a lot of the other times we talk about, I'm trying to think. What do I talk
I mean, do you ever have conversations about the diabetes, or is that something you leave for the parents in the endos?
Oh, yes. Like, we talk about how we feel like if, like PE, and we just talk about funny things, like we've heard other stories, and it's really fun. I love talking to all my type 1 friends.
Well, it's like I said earlier, it takes a type 1 to know a type 1. And so there's an immediate familiarity. Because on the
Yes.
most basic level, we're family, and it's a little bit easier to get in. I mean, if you were to, and people say, well, what does it feel like? Well, if you were a type 1, you know what it feels like. How do you explain a reaction? How do you explain the lethargy? I mean, there are words that you can use, but to really get it, and I think that knowing that there is somebody else out there. See, I didn't have any T1 friends. I never knew any T1s until I knew one, that I met when I was in my 20s. But of course, now being part of the diabetes online community, I am very excited to say that I have lots and lots and lots and lots of T1 friends because I know they get it. And it's so nice not to have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
What kind I love this question. What kind of diabetes do you have? The kind I have to take care of. Okay? Does that work for you? I mean, I understand there's a lot of frustration in trying to keep that separate, which, of course, when we're youngsters, and especially, people don't usually make that mistake. They know the difference. I also heard and read that your family has something to be very, very proud of. Your mom and some other moms who have started their group EASE, type 1, just were up in Sacramento on Tuesday. Tell us why they were there and what they were doing, please.
They were there because of type 1 and how so many kids lately have been passing away because they come in with flu-like symptoms, and the doctors send them with the cure, like have Pedialyte and drink Sprite, which is pure sugar, and that's causing a lot of them to pass away. So they went up there to, what was it, like, pass the bill?
Pass a resolution.
The resolution.
Resolution.
And isn't that akin to test one drop?
Huh?
Isn't that akin to test one drop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vitally important. Well, you ought to be real proud of your mom. And of the
0 vote.
what a team y'all have. Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And I look forward to hearing wonderful things about you. And, you're going to stay strong and you're going to stay well. And what are you looking forward to doing now? Do you have any idea what kind of direction you'd like to take?
I have kind of like 3. I have going into photography. I have going into modeling and being a libero on the USA volleyball team.
I love it. And then what are you going to do in your spare time? Kidding, just kidding, just kidding. All right.
Oh my goodness, those shoes.
Which shoes? Oh, hey, I didn't buy them. Talk to your mother about those shoes. I have to deal with my own kids and their shoes.
Those are so old. Oh my gosh.
Well, I worked with what I had. Mother, you will please send me pictures of Sierra with her new shoes, please, for my next show.
Of course.
Thank you very much. Sierra, you're a doll. What do you think? Let's say that somebody asked you and they said, Sierra, my daughter has just been diagnosed as a type 1. She's 12 years old. What would you tell her? What would be the, not tricks, but what, from your wisdom of being a T1 for over 10 years, what would you tell them?
Actually, someone did say that their friend, like a week ago, but this was a while ago, was recently diagnosed, and she was like, do you have any tips for her or anything? And I told her, one, she needs to tell her friends about it, because if something happens, they can be there to back her up.
Excellent point. Any other tips for her?
Also, to go to a diabetic camp, it really opens your eyes to the community of diabetes, like celiacs, um, which is another thing I have. Um, yeah, I learned how to take my own shots there by a counselor by letting me take shots on her. Wonder how that felt. Not sure how good I was back then. I was like 5, I believe, so I'm not sure how. I really didn't want to stab her in her arm with a shot.
I bet that feeling was mutual, but that's what she signed up for. But then again, now they weren't T1s, the counselors?
Some of them were, some of them weren't.
Yeah,
Some
interesting.
of them had like pumps just for fun.
Right, just so they would know what it felt like. Just for
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, that's a lot of laughs, that pump. Yeah, this very morning I had just come out of the shower and I had the towel around me, and as the towel dropped, it grabbed a hold of the pump site and pulled that right out. So I
Those
said,
little strings, just clip it and you're like,
that was the one, you know? That was the one. Well, listen, I want to stay in touch with you. And, anytime you want to come on and talk about being a young person with T1, you are my designated hitter. Okay, I would like for you to be coming back on the show and tell me how things are going for you. And I know our audience is going to want to know that too. So, Sierra, what are you showing me a picture of? Excuse me. It's not time? Oh, it's not time, he tells me. We can talk some more. I'm so excited. I have 3 people telling me what time it is. You'd think I could see it myself, but I can't. Okay, so my next question is, there's a lot of talk about artificial pancreases. There's a lot of talk about stem cells. There a lot of talk about a lot of talk, and a lot of talk about a cure. Now, if you are like I am, you or your mom was told that there would be a cure in 5 years. Well, I'm counting now. I'm at 49 years, and I'm still waiting for that 5 years. I am of the mind that, yes, a cure. I mean, who is going to go, no, don't cure me? I would never, it's like, no, don't send me money. Never would I say those two things. But my feeling is that when I read about these new technologies, that's something we can have right now and today. When I was a young person starting out, we had disposable needles, but I boiled my syringes. I used to have to take gallons of pee with me to the endo so they could get a cross sampling. And we didn't have the recombinant insulins that are available today. So I've seen so much happen. What do you think? Is there anything, how willing are you to try different things and to talk about them? Some may work better than others. We have no way of knowing until we try. But personally, and I know that I will not fit into any of the studies because of my age now, the ideas of the stem cell transplants, I would go for that. I would love to be able to. What do you think?
no.
No.
I won't do it.
Okay, what is your hesitation?
I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't want to change it.
Okay. If they told you would never need to take insulin again, would that change your mind at all?
Not really.
All right. So you are, I am just delighted by meeting you. I got to tell you that right away. And I think, if I may, that you are going to do exceedingly well in life. Your attitude, I wish I had it. I'm going to call you for lessons. Okay?
Okay.
You're a person, I really, my hat is off to you, to your mom, to your family. You're just delicious. And of course, why? Because you're a type 1. And I believe that even though we have this disease, maybe God leaves his hands on our shoulders just another extra little second and gives us something special on the side. Because you certainly have it. And I wish you, I've got goosebumps from you, my dear. I wish you, I do, I wish you all of the best and your family, and I'll be staying in touch with you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow Sierra's story, you can do so pretty much with her mom's website. Mom, can you chime in and tell everybody the URL on that?
You can reach us at www.easet1d.org.
And you can also follow them on Facebook. And I know you have a Twitter presence. So please, people, reach out and let's make our community shine even brighter. Again, thank you so much for visiting with me today, Sierra. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Well, if you would like to be my T1 co host, it's very easy. All you have to do is write to me. And you can write to me at bonniesher.com. And it's just that easy. I hate to end this segment, but it's time for my shout out and my shout down. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Senator Richard D. Roth, a Democrat from Riverside, California, who is the one who actually took and raised the awareness and brought to the California State Senate on Tuesday and passed in a bipartisan unanimous vote of 38 to nothing Senate Resolution 63, which encourages health care practitioners with children under their care to discuss the warning signs and symptoms with their parents and the children. SR 63 encourages healthcare practitioners with children under their care to discuss the warning signs and symptoms at least once a year at their child care visits from birth to age 5. And it was passed on Tuesday, and SR 63, the reason it was passed is because of this group that I just mentioned while I was interviewing Sierra. This is an organization called EASE T1D, standing for Education, Awareness, Support, and Empowerment. It was founded by Michelle Thornburg, mother of our lovely Sierra, with two other moms, Debbie George and Robin Lopez, all of whom have children with type 1 diabetes. Good work, ladies. Thank you. Next is my shout down. Eli Lilly CEO John Lechleiter, interesting name, was talking about the rising price of drugs during a press conference to discuss Eli Lilly's earnings. Lilly reported a 15% increase in revenue in the fourth quarter of 2015, which was strengthened by the increases in their drug Humalog, which is, if you're a diabetic, you know is insulin. Drug prices are raising faster than, diabetes drug prices are raising higher and faster than any other illness presently. And his explanation, plus they're expecting it to rise another 18.3% in the next 3 years. In MarketWatch report, John Lichtleiter claimed that the raising prices were necessary to help the company fund more research. Again, is that not a cost of doing business? And how many more billions of dollars do they have to have? Shame on them. It doesn't help us. Well, that's our show. And I hope you'll return next week for another 50 minutes of the land of Bonnie, the land of boomers, and the Type 1 community. Until then, please visit BonnieSher.com and follow the number 1 Bonnie Sher on Twitter and like the Bonnie Sings Lena fan page on Facebook. Again, I want to thank today's guests and all of you for sharing the ride. And again, a special note of thanks to Cory Boan, who continually provides me with his lovely jewelry for promotional consideration. Okie dokie. Now, my last thought to my friends, new and old. Most of you already know that Sammy Davis Jr. played an incredibly pivotal role in my life and in my career. And he was my mentor, and he was also my friend. So, Sammy, if there by chance are speakers up in heaven, this one's for you. Take us out.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I want to live, not merely survive. And I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. The dream that I see makes me what I am. That faraway prize, a world of success, is waiting for me if I heed the call. I won't settle down, won't settle for less, as long as there's a chance that I can have it all. I'll go it alone, that's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me. I gotta be free. I've gotta be free. Daring to try to do it or die. I've gotta be me. I'll go it alone. That's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me.